Here's why your buyer gets tense, even when you're doing everything right. Selling feels heavy when your identity and your values don't match. You can master every consultative framework, every process, every technique, and still show up with your prospects and your clients in a way that doesn't reflect your true capability and actually stalls your deal. So here's what's happening. Without these three core approaches, you're going to actually trigger buyer defensiveness as well as your own salesy fear. It just happens, guys. There's bookshelves, right, written on the sales jokes. So it's unconscious and conscious, and frankly, it's not something people often talk about. And we forget this part. Frameworks don't lower resistance; humans do. So how do we show up and connect? That is going to be the key here, because buyers can feel when you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard to impress. You're trying to sell right, that sell right, like I've got it right, I'm the expert. But they can also feel when you're grounded in your values, when you're comfortable in your own skin, and they can sense your intent and passion. And so here's the both are true kicker. You can be an absolute expert at your craft, at your business development, a sales expert, and you can still feel that internal tension of not wanting to be salesy, or I heard it the other day, sales schwarmy. That's cognitive dissonance, and that puts you at a disadvantage. So there's great news here. So what do? This is where being yourself isn't fluffy. It's actually performance. And there are three things that actually shift this. Number one, sink into your values and create sound bites from them. You might live in it every day, but when you can reflect on them and talk through them, most sellers, you might know your values, but you don't speak to them. This is about speaking that truth and letting someone see you and how you think about your day, your life, how you make decisions, and what you're there to do. You turn them into simple, grounding lines that you use throughout the conversation. Your values are sound bites that you turn in that actually create safety. Because here's what it's going to do. It's going to lower pressure for both you and your buyer. There's a ton of research, and I can get super geeky on this, but this is where your buyer actually consents and transfers that level of trust and intent and passion. Second thing, let's call the elephant in the room with that light human touch. Your buyer's already wondering like what's going on, and their defenses are way up. So when you name it, it kind of resets the tone. I've made jokes. I'm like, hey, salesperson's in the room, shh, right? Like, and you can do it a lot of different ways, or you can even disrupt it in a way that says, look, you probably thought I'm coming in here to like get you to press hard 6 copies, right? But good news is we might decide to move forward in a commercial agreement. But if we do, it's only going to be because it's a needle mover for you and your team, and you've made that choice. Number 3, create your own seller identity. I cannot stress how important this is. This is that internal definition of how you want to show up. And I got to say, a lot of people start out with like, hey, you're here to serve. You're here to be helpful. That's a good, and that is a start, but that is not a seller identity. And it can be too vague, and everybody can talk about it. But this is the part about, again, what is your identity as a seller, right? Like, I am here to be a change agent to unlock your potential. I'm a navigator. I help navigate and unlock innovation. Like, there's a lot of ways to do this, and it does connect back to those personal values. And here's the thing. Identity will shape your presence. Identity will also shape some of your questions, and it's going to shape how confidently you show up. Identity is actually what makes your framework, all of those great selling methodologies and frameworks, work. It's not the other way around. It's a little humor, a little truth, and a lot of alignment. That is what's going to lower the defensiveness. That's what's going to create this real consultative credibility. It's going to make you comfortable, them comfortable, everybody's going to laugh a little bit. And you can be that expert and not be held back by being salesy or the sales dilemma. So both are true, right? If we hold this, we're experts and we still feel salesy, both of that can be true, but it can also be true where you can walk into it and do some of this work and show up in a way that unlocks your own defensive and friction as well as your buyer. So if this is something interesting, why don't you join my upcoming live free masterclass? You're going to walk away with these sales conversations and trust building personal sound bites and skills. To do that, just comment MC for Masterclass, throw it in the comments, and I'll send you an invite. Hope to see you there. Happy Friday, and welcome to Both Are True Fridays.